Oh yeah, happy new year ladies, gents and teddy bears. Happy new year RAF Coningsby. We're back, our first show of the year. TED HQ coming at you. Big shout out to everyone, all personnel who worked over the festive season. It's all our Royal Air Force personnel who were working over the Christmas period. Thanks for what you do. A big shout out to all of you. Much love for those that were working over the Christmas period and the New Year. Welcome to the first show of the year, my birthday special. It was yesterday, but usually we have a birthday special live on the show, coinciding with my birthday, but unfortunately they weren't training yesterday, or any training flights, but we're back now, so welcome to the show. My name's Nikos, I'm your cameraman, a little bit rusty historian at the moment, and commentator of the show. Welcome. Oh, oi, oi. This is our squadron leader, Ted Coningsby, and welcome. We'd like to welcome you all to the show. And a big shout out to all squadrons, all personnel, all roles here at Coningsby. Welcome to the home of the Typhoons. We have our frontline Typhoon FGR4 and T3 training Typhoons as well here. And along with our 5 Typhoon squadrons, it's also home to 2 display teams. The Typhoon display team, which very shortly, any day now really, will be having an official announcement of the 2026 RAF Typhoon display pilot. And also it's home to the Battle of Britain memorial flight. Welcome to the show. I hope you're all well, and I hope you all had a very happy Christmas and New Year as well. And you can see the foons and the snow there, which is quite nice, isn't it? Very festive for this time. But a big shout out to all of you. Hope you're all well, and welcome. It's definitely a time for lots of tea this time of year. Extra tea than usual. I hope you're all good, ladies, gents and teddy bears. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. A big thank you to all those who wished me a happy birthday yesterday. It is kind of like a day after birthday special. It was yesterday officially, but we usually have a Nikos birthday special. You know it is. I'm actually rather warm. It is -8 degrees Celsius. For those that do Fahrenheit, that's around, what, 19 degrees Fahrenheit, around about that. It's just a bit of guesswork there. But do take care on the roads. If you're out on the roads, ladies, gents and teddy bears, do make sure you're all safe and well out there. So things are looking good over there for the Typhoons to be taxiing out very shortly. You get some very strange sound effects with the way the snow works. All the runways, the runway and the taxiways are all clear, and although the runway and taxiway are treated with chemicals, we could get to see some sprayage. And going to be a little bit rusty on the old history. I'll get back into it. I've had some good time out. I actually didn't do a lot of plane related reading and video watching, so I may get some facts and figures a little bit rusty, but there we go. But welcome to the show, and let's kick things off for 2026 here at Coningsby 10 HQ. Don't forget to hit the like button as well. Let's get this stream up there and going and flowing. The chat room, as we say, if you're new, do read or refresh the guidelines and rules. There are a full description in the actual description of all our guidelines. We like to keep it sweet, keeping it neat. That's the way the Ted Coningsby channel does things here. Big shout out to also 17 Squadron, Coningsby Squadron Air Cadets as well here. Wishing you all a very merry, happy new year. The Typhoon, powered by two EJ200 engines. We'll give you the usual TED stats and talk to you a little bit about the Foons, what they do, how they work. RAF Coningsby opened November the 4th, 1940, received its first squadron, 106 Squadron, in February in 1941. Started life out with the Handley Page Hampden. And in 64 years later, so our first aircraft, the Handley Page Hampden bomber, bit of a light fighter bomber at the time, a twin engine, four-man crew fighter bomber style. And then 64 years later, 19th of May 2005, the Typhoon lands here at Coningsby with number 17 Squadron. But today it's got here we are with 5 Typhoon Squadrons. This is the main ASP, aircraft servicing platform. This is the main one, and also you'll see a lot of the operational conversion unit, which is 29 Squadron. Welcome to Bomber County, Lincolnshire. So 29 Squadron, the operational conversion unit responsible for training our frontline combat pilots for the Typhoon. Energetic and keen, impeger et acer in Latin is their motto. Buzzards are their nickname. Bit rare to have RAF nicknames, but they do exist. 1915, where they formed at Gosport, number 29. They spent a lot of time out in France as well as a fighter squadron. They once had Guy Gibson before he became a wing commander here for 106 Squadron. But started their defensive night fighter operations as a night fighter squadron. 1940, Guy Gibson claimed 4 aerial victories with 29. 1987, they became the first operational squadron to be equipped with the Tornado F3. And in 2003, they were the second RAF squadron to receive the Typhoon, and bringing it here in 2005. Our next squadron is the newest squadron here, but enriched in a lot of history with Vickers Wellingtons, Fairy Foxes. In fact, the Fairy Fox given to number 12 Squadron being the only Fairy Fox squadron, hence the Fox. It's number 12 Squadron, with Canberra missions, Buccaneers, and of course a lot of missions in World War II with the Avro Lancaster. They formed in 1915 at Neverhaven. They were indeed in 1926 the sole operator for the Fairy Fox, which is why leads the field. The Fox is their kind of like creature of comfort. On their insignia, their squadron crest, flying the Lancaster in 1942, the Canberra in 1951, and the Vulcan in 1962. They did switch to maritime strike operations with the Buccaneer in 1969. Believe they were at Lossiemouth as well at some point. I believe with the Buccaneer, but I'm a bit rusty, so you'll have to track that down for me. But they stood up in 2018 as a joint Qatari Emirati Air Force and Royal Air Force squadron, and actually began their operations here at Coningsby 2 years later in 2020. You'll also see here number XL1 Squadron, that's right, number 41 Squadron. They are indeed the test and evaluation squadron here at Coningsby. They test the latest and greatest equipment. So for example, the radar, the ASA Mark 0, the Mark 1, the Mark 2 from Leonardo, the active electronic scanned array, the new latest and greatest. They would test things like that, new weapon systems and software. And number 41, they began life in 1916 as a Royal Flying Corps. They stood up in July of that year. They were operating the FE8, the Royal Aircraft Factory, so biplanes, as many squadrons of course were operating biplanes. They were also flying the Spitfires, the Mark 5B, and distinguishing the seek and destroy motto that they have, the Echo Bravo markings on the Spitfire, was their status, and a focus that they spent in 44, switching to bomber escort to anti-flying bomb patrols. They destroyed 53 of the V1 flying bombs, the world's first sort of cruise missile, so to speak. You needed a punchy Griffon engine to keep up with those things. They've been flying here as well at Coningsby with the Harrier, the Jaguar, the GR3. And by 2013, they were designated 41 Reserve Test and Evaluation Squadron and took its first Typhoon to strength. Now, they are no longer a reserve. Then our two frontline combat-ready squadrons. Now, they've got a bit of history. Now, of course, as you'd expect. Now, number 3, when the numbers are really low, you know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those numbers are very, very early in the Royal Flying Corps. In fact, number 3 fighter is the oldest squadron here at Coningsby. They were actually before the Royal Flying Corps in 1911. I know, that's our oldest squadron, 1911. They formed at Larkhill as number 2 aeroplane company with the Air Battalion Royal Engineers. Now, you've got to remember that this is pre-Royal Flying Corps, and it was very close to Stonehenge. There's a lot of link with mythology and Stonehenge on their markings. If you have a look close, you'll see a creature, the cockatrice, which is in fact their nickname, the cockatrice, a mythological character. They did change from number 2 to number 3 Squadron Royal Flying Corps when the Royal Flying Corps was established. And what's interesting, like I've always mentioned, the choice of creature, that they're along with their motto. Now, their motto is "Third shall be the first." Very, very awesome motto. Third shall be the first. Why is this? It's because they were the first to fly heavier than air aircraft. Don't forget, aviation itself is a component, in my eyes, as putting together a manned flight with an engine and wings and a controlled flight. But flight itself began in 1800s at least, with flying kites, balloons, gliders, and lots of innovative men were really leading the way for a glided flight. But for me, it didn't come until 1903 as a manned, controlled flight. Of course, the Bright Flyer. So the cockatrice in mythology, the first creature in mythology to fly, and I've always made the little pun, a little joke about Pegasus having an argument over that. But the cockatrice's skills is the fact that it can turn its subjects to stone, and there were no witnesses when Pegasus took the cockatrice to court on that claim. I love my own little story. It's something I've always said. The defence for the cockatrice is that there were no witnesses. The cockatrice turned all the witnesses into stone, and Pegasus couldn't really have an objective for that. Now, the link with Stonehenge, because Lark Hill close to Lark Hill Aerodrome, was close to Stonehenge Aerodrome. Stonehenge, if you look at the trilithons and you look at the number 3, what looks like Roman numerals, a little bit of a play, but the cockatrice actually sits on a piece of Stonehenge like a monolith. Have a look at that, and sometimes you'll see some old posters with the 3 Roman numerals looking like pieces of Stonehenge. Really cool. And our final squadron are, of course, the number X1F squadron. That's number 11. The 2 Eagles that fly proudly, probably due to the 2-seater pusher aircraft that they were flying. Now, they've got a bit of history. They formed in 1915 as a fighter squadron, and they've been a fighter squadron since 1915, making them the world's oldest dedicated fighter squadron. Amazing. Formed in 1915 at Neverhaven. They were the first unit to operate the Venom FB1 in 1952. And together in 1988 with number 5 AC Squadron, they became the last squadron to operate the English Electric Lightning. But they stood up here in 2007 as a multi-role Typhoon Squadron. So that's all our squadrons here. There are Typhoon Squadrons at RAF Lossiemouth with their 4 squadrons, number 1, 2, 6 and 9. So we should be getting some Typhoons taxiing out very shortly for departure. Thanks a lot, all of you, for joining us. Williams, Margot Baxter, Jenny B, Lorena, Nomadic, Rambling, Mayhem, Marshy, Fritz, Joshua Brown, Dieter, Davey, Simon Watchorn joining us on the show, Paul Mayers, Alan Burden. Welcome to our Ted Coningsby channel. And we start our year here at RAF Coningsby. Dubbed, nicknamed Ted HQ. This is where it all began for the show. For those that are not familiar with the Typhoon, I'm giving you a little, of course, my tour of the Typhoon. So for those who don't know, hey man, how you doing? All right? Oh, okay, cool. Okay, and we also got a morning to Steve, who is a airline pilot for EasyJet. Nice, and he gets married later this month. Morning to Steve from Mark. There you go. Thank you very much. Thank you. And this is our Typhoon. I'll go through it very shortly with you for those that don't know how it works, all the good stuff of the Typhoon, what it can do, how it maneuvers, the 70 computers that make up the flight control system, the FCS. It's split into 4 lanes, by the way, but we'll go through all that a little bit later on, if I'm still not frozen to death, of course. The Typhoon, made in 4 different countries. The left wing actually made in Italy, the right wing Spain, the centre section of the fuselage Germany, and the cockpit and front section made in Britain. There are components at the rear of the Typhoon from Italy and Britain, but I'll go through all that with you a little bit later on. They are called different things in different countries as well. The Royal Air Force, and there are differences as well between each country that operate the Typhoon. There are many countries that operate the Typhoon, from Austria, Qatar, Kuwait, and of course the 4 that we just mentioned. There are a few differences. The Luftwaffe, German Air Force, call it the EF 2000 Eurofighter. Italy, the F2000A Typhoon. In Spain, it's the C16 Typhoon. In the Royal Air Force, it's the Typhoon FGR4. And these letters on any aircraft, they mean things, their role, what they do. F for fighter, G for ground attack, and R for reconnaissance. It kind of gives you an idea. So when you see a T for the T3, that will symbolize that it's a training aircraft. So the T3 is a 2-seater. So powered by the EJ200 engines, producing just over 20,000 pounds of thrust each. It is a remarkable engine. So if you're out and about today, do be careful out there on the roads. Do be safe out there. Oi, oi! And Dex the Paladin, Matt Clark. How you doing as well? LEJ approach from Gerd from Leipzig. Dylan Cobb, thank you very much for the birthday wishes. Oi oi, Aviation Ollie. Marco carried on with the jokes. João Guerra from Portugal. What's it like out there? Oi oi. Leonardo DiCaprio. Dieter from Belgium. Watch globally here. Arjen as well from the Netherlands as well. Henk Verkuel, Phantom Fanatic, Simon Watchorn. A big shout out to everyone here. Welcome. And Bundesliga. Bundes Leipzig. Sandy Wynn, oi oi to you. And not forgetting, if you are a Ted Coningsby member, you will be able to take advantage of our priority tickets for our TED party. TIAT 4.0 tickets are available to members first. If you are a member, you'll be able to either see the post on Discord if you are joined us on our members only Discord server, or as a post on YouTube. You'll be able to see the members only post if you are logged in as a member. Marcus, thank you very much. Joanna Lumley, how you doing? Darren Pickwell, how you doing? But yeah, do be careful out there. Thanks a lot for my birthday wishes there. Do be careful out on the roads if you are out and about. Don't forget to drive in relation to the conditions. And if it's, you know, try and avoid the little tiny little TED roads, as we call them, as I call them, I guess. But do be careful out there. Do be mindful. Plan your journey well. Try to avoid the smaller, shall we say, roads that are usually not protected or gritted, shall we say. But I'll see how long I can go on for today with the conditions. Actually, what I'll do, I'm just going to go and get a cup of tea actually while I'm here, and just to keep myself moving. It's really important I keep moving. But the taxiway and the runways are nice and clear. Great stuff. Nice one. Just shows it's never too late. It just shows it's never too late.
Oh, absolutely.
Never too late, man. Good times. Good for him. Right, I got my cup of tea here. Take care. See ya. Right. Oh, be careful out there. So there's no burger van here at the moment. I'm not sure when Steve's back. Usually we have a burger van here. I am tuned in here from the official viewing area, the spotters car park. Be careful coming in here because there's no grit here. Hasn't been gritted at all. Do be careful as you enter. But again, start the year with our new refreshed rules. Again, be mindful of your surroundings as well. Do park legally and sensibly as well. And if you are just crossing the road, be careful of the traffic. And if you're going up to the fence to get a few snaps of the Typhoons taxiing past or other shots that you're going to get of the Typhoons, just be mindful of the fence. Please don't touch the fence. Please don't rest. Certainly don't rest your ladders on the fence. It does damage it. It really does. It starts to press onto the fence and creates damage. And certainly do not cut the fence, bend any of the link chains that are on the fence. And of course, don't climb it. There are barbed wires surrounding it. And of course, you will, if you're going just across the road, there are crash gates. I'll pan it over in a moment for you. There are crash gates, which again are indeed for emergency use. Please do not stand or certainly don't park your car there. You will be requested immediately to move on. And ordered to move on, shall I say. It will be as strict as that, because they are indeed emergency gates, and hence the name crash gate. Now, it's not always about rescuing an aircraft, for example, if the worst should happen. Also, emergency services may need to access on a more domestic level, like a fire, or even a fuel leak. Could be a Bowser that slipped and they need to get immediately, and a crash gate could be the quickest way in. So please do not block the crash gate. And of course, anything suspicious, do be mindful, do report it. Anyone that you think is attempting to fly a drone or what looks like a drone, see it, report it. And we've always said this, do it discreetly. If it's if you feel in danger of life, then then call the 999. But crash gates are really important, and it's I've come across just before the end of the year, before we finished up at Marron, there was a situation where they needed access to the crash gates, nothing to do with an aircraft. So it just goes to show it's not always aircraft related. Right, looks like we've got something on the move. Nice. Thanks a lot, Susan, there for my birthday wishes. So, Foons in the snow, here we go. Also featuring this year will be my lovely A2 bomber jacket, beautifully painted by Anek from the Netherlands. And I will be featuring that when it gets a little bit warmer. Only a little bit. Right, so we've got two Typhoons that have taxied down the runway. You never know, we may even get some PTOs. We have no idea what's in store today. We just turn up. There are no schedules or anything. You just turn up, hope for the best, and enjoy. That's the main thing. Do enjoy. Don't forget your equipment, maybe especially the batteries, maybe a little bit performing a little bit differently this time of year, so do be mindful. Doing lots of tea. Now, in the event in the future that the car park is full, please don't attempt to park it outside. What I mean by outside is directly, literally out onto the main road. There is a car park in Coningsby itself, and it's £2 for all day, and there are toilets there, but not here at the official car park. And if you've just joined us, don't forget to hit the like button and do subscribe to your one and only Ted Coningsby channel. And so you don't miss out on the latest and greatest live streams and videos, we always suggest to hit the notification bell button.
Okay, here we go. Let's get ready for departure. Our first departure of 2026 here live on the Ted Coningsby channel. Empty weighs just 24,000 pounds in an aircraft that, you know, produces over 40,000 pounds of thrust combined with the two EJ200 engines. It's a phenomenal thrust to weight ratio. 85% carbon composite, adding to that lightweight airframe. So our first departures of the year are in the snow. Tell you what I am wearing, by the way, is our, I mean, this time of year is perfect for it. I'll give you a little modelling session of it, is our beanies. Pom-pom or without pom-pom. I'll show you it as it is. I don't know if you can see that. Ted Coningsby. They come with or without a pom-pom. You choose, with this PVC, which has been sewed on, I believe. No? Oh yeah, yeah, it has been sewed on. Yeah, it's been sewed on. There we go. Just wanted to check that. And it does keep you warm. We, Claire and I, tried and tested it out at, on Dartmoor. Yeah. My name's Nikos, I'm your cameraman, historian and commentator. A little bit rusty historian at the moment, so my first show of the year, so I'm going to get you all in there and all the info that you need. It involves a lot of reading, a lot of research, which I enjoy and thrive, and do all my diagrams to show you a lot about how flight evolved as well as aviation. But in the meantime, enjoy the Typhoons. Should have some more going out very shortly, which we can hear them running. Let's have a little look at the Typhoon, which I can do in diagrams as well. Oh yes, it's all about the diagrams. Those that don't know. See if I've got anything new for you. Yep, I've got some new stuff for you here. Oh yeah, I even drew the EJ200 engine. Now, let's have a little look. Let's go a little bit new here. I'm going to go a little bit different here. I'm going to show you this first. The diagram of the Typhoon. So you've got about 85% non-metal on the Typhoon. So you've got about, the white indicates the carbon fibre composite. So you've got about 12% of glass reinforced plastics that features on the sensitive radar areas. So you've got them on the inner sections where the wings are, and you've got a little bit here on the tail, which is the high frequency radar, and you've also got the nose for the radome there. There's about 15% joint aluminium and titanium alloys. Titanium alloys are featured on the leading edges. The foreplanes that are used for pitching the Typhoon, the changing the angle of attack to pitch up or down, the fairing nozzles are also a titanium alloy, and the canopy as well is actually acrylic. So that's our Typhoon. You've got our flaperons here, which I'll show you how they work as well, but the alloy aluminium here, for those, I'm going to show you a little bit about the EJ200 engine, how powerful it works, how the sort of like the composite of Rolls-Royce, MTU, Avio Aero and ITP Aero making up the composite that is Eurojet, EJ Eurojet, and making up the engine for the Typhoon FGR4. It's actually a fantastic engine. This took me about 2.5 hours, a couple of hours to draw these real detailed sections. It's cut away, so you haven't got all the fuel lines and pipes. You got the gear here, the FCS system, there's also the modules here. It's pretty impressive, and who makes what as well. If you want to pause that at some point so you can see what Rolls-Royce make. They make the combustion system. So in here they make the high pressure turbine, which is there, and you've also got the engine health management system, which is, I think it's this one here, and I believe that's your sort of like your gearbox, which is pretty fantastic stuff. So I'll give you a little tour of the Typhoon. You can hear the AWCU, the Birdman. Let's have a little look what we got them. So there's our Typhoon, and as I said very briefly at the beginning of the show, that of course technology
does change, and 41 Squadron will test the latest and greatest. We started off with a Mark 0 radar inside here, developed from Ferranti and Marconi, but Ferranti developed the ECR90, the electronic counter radar system inside here. And just to give you an idea, of course we can't tell you what's what inside these Typhoons, you know, with that sensitivity and secret information, but some have been upgraded to Mark 1, of course, and then later the Mark 2. So some of them have the latest and greatest Mark 2 AESA, that's active electronically scanned array. What that does, it creates a sort of like a battle space for the Typhoon, okay, a radar to detect. But what the AESA does, the electronic, the Captor E, not the Captor M. These, don't worry if you don't know what they mean, but they started off with a manual scanning radar, and also the actual angle of which the radius, how the Typhoon manages to continuously lock, developed onto the latest radars as well. So our latest Mark II, developed from Leonardo, they are able to have a 180-degree battle space and actually continuously scan and track multiple aircraft. So once it's scanned, let's say this van, it will keep a lock, sorry for using that van, but it will keep a constant lock on that van, along with radar, ground attack missiles, and you know, surface to air missiles. Another car here, it will constantly track it, other aircraft to engage. I mean, the films make a really non-realistic view of engagement, because at the end of the day, this is called BVR, beyond visual range. What that means is that the Typhoon's BVR is amazing. It can lock onto targets, let's say 160 kilometers away. So what good is that in a dogfight, for example? They are trained on dogfights, don't get me wrong, because there will be scenarios where you will engage in a dogfight. But to actually lock on a plane 160 kilometers away, a fighter aircraft, that kind of makes it redundant. Larger aircraft, 300 kilometers away. All right, so that gives you an idea what's going on in here, which is why they have like a fiberglass. You want to protect this, which is why it's a different grey here and here and here. This section here, which is just sort of on the inner part of the wing, all right, onto there, all right, there, fiberglass. They will tell you then that that is your detection radar system, your battle space. Typhoon could lock onto 20 to 30 targets and prioritize on, let's say, around 6. So we're going to work our way from front to back, for example, okay? So that gives you an idea. These are titanium alloy foreplanes, so when they push down the foreplanes, they will pitch the Typhoon down. Foreplanes up, they will pitch the Typhoon angle of attack up. Can also be used as a speed brake as well. Now, before I go all the way back, I'll just show you, there's the air brake, the natural air brake, which pulls up there as well, all right, which is, of course, made of carbon composite as well, just to create drag and slow the Typhoon down. If you are fortunate enough to get close to a Typhoon, so if you see them parked up, you may see some red covers here, some little covers. They protect the aircraft data PTOs there. There are 4 of them, and what this means is that they actually send all the data to the what is called a fly-by-wire, but it's actually called FCS, Flight Control System. That is the Typhoon's computers, basically. And I say computers because there's around 70 of these computers, and they're split into 4 lanes. All right, what does that mean? Well, the 4 lanes, call them 25% on each lane. Okay, now what that means is that there's around 17 or 18 computers on each lane, making up 70. All right, now the Typhoon flight control system, or fly-by-wire, what exactly does that mean? Well, the pilot can just maneuver the Typhoon, and the computer will basically take care of all the controls. Let's take an F-15. Actually, do you know what? Let's take a Hamden. Right, I'll tell you what, let's take a Hamden, which was the first aircraft to operate here. So no fly-by-wire, good old man and machine. This was the first aircraft to operate at Coningsby. If it's a non-fly-by-wire, so a F-15 for example, if it's flying in a straight line, the pilot doesn't really need to do a lot. But if the pilot's going to start doing some fighter maneuvers, that's right, in a Hamden, the pilot needs to input a lot of the, needs to input quite a bit there. Now, remember the Typhoon straight line with FCS. This is what the difference is. Straight line, pilot doesn't do a lot. However, on a Typhoon, on a flight control system, it's working hard just to keep the Typhoon in a straight line. Those computers are keeping everything airborne because the Typhoon's airframe is actually aerodynamically unstable. Why? Well, you stick fly-by-wire in it, and it means that you can do some maneuvers that you don't need thrust vectoring and all other stuff. But tactics, of course, is actually, I won't give you any of the tactics, that's not for me to say, but they can actually do maneuvers that are not common on non-flyby aircraft. Blue tack is optional on some upgrades. So that's the thing. And someone asked me questions. If you do send in a question, I'll do my best to actually answer it on the show rather than direct, so that everyone else has a chance to answer it. Someone said, what happens if the flight control system packs up? The thing is, with 70 computers, that's going to be a very, very, extremely, very bad day if you've had 70 computers go down. There was a report that the Typhoon, on one of the flights, it lost 25%. Lane 2, or one of the lanes, lost all the computers. But the Typhoon went into like a safe mode, it can still fly. However, when you land back, and if you try to attempt to start it up, the computer system, the management system, the computer management system will actually just say no. All right, so you've got to get that fixed. All right, so there you go. That's what these little triangle ADPs here, aircraft data PTOs, all right? So there we go. Of course, we mentioned the 4 planes. Now, this thing here, this is the IRST Pirate, all right, which looks like a CCTV camera, and this mount that's been put on for it. That is a IRST, infrared search and track. The Typhoon can actually seek and destroy aircraft at night in full HD infrared. So it's like a forward-looking infrared, which you may be familiar with, a FLIR. But what it does, it has 4 different filters, not your selfie filters, but 4 different filters in HD, so heat seeking, heat detecting. It can even help assist to land the Typhoon in the dark using the Pirate IRST. Now, for those eagle-eyed that would have seen the Luftwaffe's lovely livery, would have noticed that the IRST Pirate has been completely taken off because the Luftwaffe didn't want that upgrade. They didn't have it. So the German Air Force and Austrian Air Force Typhoons do not have the IRST. All right, they don't have this at all. Okay, so there you go. Right, as we move back, like I said, we've got the canopy, you've got the air brake, you've got the inside here, you've got the BK Mauser 27mm Mauser cannon. All right. Yeah, by the way, I didn't expect it to be busy today. First day back of training, so there we go. We've got our leading edge slats here, which on one of the Typhoon displays this year, sadly, it got stuck, didn't it? For those that were able to speak to Nath about that one. Now, you've got the flaperons here. Flaperons, what do they do? The flaperons, so if they, this helps the Typhoon start to do a roll, okay? Now, so let's have a look how that's going to work. If this flaperon here is pushed up and this the right flaperon pushed down, the Typhoon will roll left. If the right flaperon is pushed up, left flaperon down, it will roll to the right. Okay, you've also got the rudder here, so if it goes to the right, turns right, left, left. Okay, so that's that. Another question I get asked, what is this intake here? That is your RAM heat exchanger intake. This is to cool down the Typhoon's EJ200 engine on excess reheats. Okay, so this will be automatically inputted in to cool down the EJ200 engines. This radar here, that is your missile approach warning. This is like a survivability part. The Typhoon is taxiing now, so I'll get this on. Typhoon has 13 hard points, 1 dedicated to the center drop tank. There are 1 on each wing for another drop tank, so you can actually have 3 drop tanks. There's 2 on the inner part of the fuselage on each side, okay, underneath, sorry, on the undercarriage. So you can have 2 here and 2 missiles here, okay, so that leaves you with, let's say, 5 and 5 here. All right, so you can have all sorts of things going on. So with the 5, you've got 2 here, all right, and then you're left with 3. So 1 for the drop tank. So a total of 13 hard points there. All right, so there we go. So 6 and 6 on each wing, let's say. So 1 for the drop tank, leaving 5. So you can have 2 here, leaving you another 3 for goodies. All right. This pylon here, this is your FOTD or decoy pylon, the fiber optic towed decoy. It's not a blow-up Typhoon, it's the full enemy radar. If it is guided missiles it's looking for you, you can use a chaff dispenser, which is normally about here. Dispenses bits of metal. In World War II they called it window. You got your flare dispensers here and here as well, and then of course you got the inlets here. They're cowlings that move up and down to control the amount of air to stop the boundary layer. For those see, I forgot about the boundary layer already. This splitter here, this little scoop, stops the boundary layer from happening. It's a very dangerous thing, boundary layer. When things are moving through the air, you get draggy air that sticks. Now remember, the fan's going round. When it goes into the engines, into the first stage of the fan, you're going to get draggy air hitting and happy high pressure air hitting. 2 different pressures of air is not good for something spinning, right? So you have like a splitter diverter to cut off the boundary layer, which I showed an experiment once upon a time. Probably a bit dangerous to do it today. There is a Typhoon down the end there. So there you go, just a little bit about the Typhoon there. Typhoon's power or thrust to weight ratio is phenomenal. 24,000 pounds empty with over 40,000 pounds of thrust, 20,000 on each of the EJ200 engines, which means from brakes release in 8 seconds it is capable of pulling up 50 degree, 60 degree into a vertical climb and accelerate. This is the beauty, and it's not always about the takeoff either. But just to give you an idea, after those 8 seconds it is able to go supersonic in about 22 seconds later. So in 30 seconds from brake release it can go supersonic. There we go. But air shows do admire the Typhoon, the way it can just go really slow on a max alpha and then suddenly just pull up and accelerate. This is what the Typhoon's thrust to weight ratio can do. If you've got a 1-1, you divide the weight of the aircraft or what it's got. Of course, you can't fly without any fuel in it, that given. But when you start filling up with fuel, and if you divide that into your thrust, which is 40,000, you can still have over 1-1, a 1/1 thrust to weight ratio, which means your thrust is way more than what you weigh, which is great, which means the Typhoon can actually accelerate into a climb. So from brakes release to, let's say, 8 seconds, it can go about 185 miles per hour, but this does depend on the pilot. But what the Typhoon will do is actually start accelerating vertically. Not many aircraft can do that. There are some aircraft that are not naturally 1/1 thrust to weight ratio, so let's take the F-35A, but what you can do, put less weight on it. So 50% of fuel, you could potentially do a performance takeoff if you had 50% of fuel, because the F-35A, powered by the Pratt & Whitney's wonderful engines, is extremely powerful, and it is capable, and its performance is absolutely incredible, isn't it?
where it all begins for a future generation junior pilot that's just passed their advanced flying training at RAF Valley. Their last aircraft would have been the Hawk T2. And if their career path is the Typhoon, they will come here with 29 Squadron, the operational conversion unit. There are several operational conversion units based on different aircraft. So if it is the F-35B that the pilot is tuned to, then they will go to RAF Marham and fly with their operational conversion unit on the F-35B, which is indeed 207 Squadron. 24 Squadron OCU for the heavies at Bryce Norton. It's got 42 Squadron at RAF Lossiemouth for the P8 and E7 Wedgetail that's going operational this year, I believe. Oh, looks like we've got another departure actually, which I didn't spot. So our beanie hats are available online. Don't forget to visit tedconingsby.co.uk. Visit our online store. So big shout out to the OCUs training our latest and greatest. Morning, all right? How are you? Okay? Yes, Happy New Year to you. You're right. Did you have a good Christmas and New Year? Thank you. Thanks very much. Wow. Oh well, it is cold. It is a bit cold. Huh? He's all right. He's got his scarf and he's got his winter fur, so he's all right, really. Yeah, it's all good. Oh, your Wendy loves planes. Oh, lovely. Well, that's good. I didn't know, because obviously I don't know all the handles and stuff. So
Yeah, all good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can't imagine it being too busy today. First day back, so I'm just whatever happens, a bonus, I guess. So about 8:30.
I bet it was beautiful.
It was lovely. Yeah, it was better sky than what it is now. So it's yeah, I think there's more coming. So I'll probably wait for the ones that went off to come back in, and I'll call it a day. I don't want to be too much in the cold. It's nice. Yeah, there's not that many. I think it's about 4 that have gone up, so 4 or 5 maximum. I think about 5. No problem at all, Wendy. Nice one. So a question there regarding, I think it was from Jan Clark. Do you know how the runways are cleared, de-iced? Yeah, so you'll see the de-icer, you'll see the gritter as well. It's a yellow vehicle, and it's got a spray, a bit like what you see in farmers' fields where they're spraying pesticides or other stuff like that. So it looks like that, and they have a special chemical as well. So they do use a special chemical that's used to protect the runway from frost. And you'll see it, and they do have it's almost like a snow plow as well at the front. It can disperse and push away and plow away the snow. If I see it today, you can see it sometimes, or I'll tell you what, if I do come here early enough before they've cleared it, and sometimes at night you'll see it. So when if you are passing by around sort of 5, 6 o'clock maybe, you will see them using the snow plow or the gritter. The reason is as well, don't forget that Coningsby is a QRA station. These runways need to be cleared 24/7, 365. You can't just leave it. So you may even see it a little bit later on from the first wave. The thing with the chemicals as well, they need to be careful because it does spray and blast away on departures, so but it needs to be maintained. Same with Lossiemouth as well, same with 1435 flight Typhoons that are based at RAF Mount Pleasant. They need to be, again, that's pretty much a QRA station out in the Falklands, so they have a special vehicle that does that. So welcome to the Ted Coningsby channel. So you may have heard I'm not going to be here that long. I'll probably just do the first wave and call it a day for my own safety. It is -8 -8 degrees Celsius, which is what, about 16 degrees Fahrenheit is that? It's a bit of a shocker. Oh, hang on, it's moved up to -7. I can feel the warmth already. Right, so I'm going to go and grab a quick cup of tea. Whew. Hey! Happy New Year, man! Love it. Yeah, it's a little bit on the old cold side here today. That was from the that was from the guys. That was on base there. Nice little Happy New Year call out there. Don't you just love it? You gotta love this place. And all is good. Yeah, so unfortunately it's not going to be a full-on day today for, I mean, not only for movements but for us as well, due to the extreme cold. And I managed to, for those that know about what I get up to with the history as well, just a little bit detailed, managed to get this. This is thanks to one of our spanner flight who's very keen on maps and very experienced with map creations as well. So thanks, Perry, for that. Managed to get you the airfields of military airfields of Lincolnshire, England's second largest county, of World War I and World War II, and those that survived from being a World War I airfield to a World War II. Okay, so it was actually spared. So maybe I'll change that to red. Maybe I'll do a colour coordinated one with red, if you can see that. So green being an airfield of World War I. So you can see and appreciate that Lincolnshire was indeed a fighter town before it became known as the bomber county that we all know. And on average, there were no more than 7 miles. They were no more than 7 miles apart between an airfield to another airfield. So they were, you know, this is pretty much the evolution of Lincolnshire's World War I and World War II airfields. Really, really amazing stuff to see, and to see those that survived into a World War II airfield after they were created. But of course Hull Haxton is no longer, Spitalgate for example, but those that did survive, such as Cranwell and Digby, that was known as Scotwick at the time, Waddington, and of course you've also got Elsham Wolds, Gox Hill, Northcotes as well, that survived from World War I into World War II. Pretty amazing. Holbeach, you probably think, well, hang on, what happened to Holbeach? But Holbeach wasn't a bombing range till 1926, so it's quite amazing to see that. And of course Scampton as well, which was once known as Brattleby in its World War I days as well. It's amazing to see how it all evolved. I mean, to give you an idea, during World War I, Britain as a whole had 300 military airfields, and after the war, let's say 1924, around that sort of time, we were looking at around, what, 27 military airfields. But of course, in the 30s, where things were brewing up in Germany, they decided to have a pre-war expansion program, and luckily that was the case, because of course we always say preparation is better than than dealing with the situation then and then. So there we go, to give you an idea on that. I'm going to just limit some of the history today. I'm just going to be walking up and down. Do we have a pilot in there already? Yeah, I mean, that one's ready to go. So happy New Year, season's greetings, happy New Year, wishing to all of you on this sort of birthday special. I usually have one, and thank you to all of you who wished me a happy birthday, as well as on Facebook and personal messages as well. And thanks for my birthday cards as well. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, a Happy New Year to those that were serving and working over the Christmas and New Year holiday period. So we did mention and give them a good old warm greetings before we finished up for the year. So if you're interested in a Royal Air Force career, if it is a fighter pilot, just to give you an idea, I spoke to F-22 pilots sort of mid last year, and I asked them what their career path, as in a flying path, and this is quite interesting. Similar to us, it's the Texan, then a T-38 and an F-22. So similar to us, here in the Royal Air Force, for a Typhoon or an F-35B, it would be a prefect, and then of course, you're then going to RAF Valley on the Texan, then the Hawk T2, and then of course the Typhoon or the F-35B. For those in university, air squadrons can get experiences on the tutor T1 as well. The prefect sort of being the sort of upgraded, the successor to the Grob tutor, although the Grob tutor making a full statement in training our university air squadrons as well. For multi-jet, it would be indeed either a prefect as well, and then on to, so for multi-jet aircraft such as the A400, it would be at Cranwell with the prefect, and then the Phenom T1, and then on to 24 Squadron at Bryce Norton. For those that are going into propelled, so you've got fixed wing, you've got multi-engine, and of course you've got rotary. All right, those are the three aviation routes that you can take. So multi-jet, fixed wing, and rotary are the three sort of main subjects. All right, the three main platforms, that's probably the right way. So multi-engine would be the prefect, Phenom, and then RAF Bryce Norton. And of course, if it is a direct entry from the University Air Squadrons, you will be flying in the Grob tutor as well. For those that are going into rotary, it will be indeed either a prefect or a tutor, depending on which entry you're going through, and then on to Shawbury on the Juno for training, and then you're on to RAF Benson if it is the Chinook. With their operational conversion unit, which is it 28 Squadron? There we go. For the rivet joint, again multi-engine, you'll be prefect, Phenom, and then onto the I-Star. But what I'd like to ask, actually, if they do go to 24 Squadron at Bryce Norton before they go on to flying the rivet joint, that one I do like to ask, because there is an I-Star operational conversion unit at Waddington, and there is, of course, 42 TB torpedo bomber in their historical tents in the P8 and Wedgetail operational conversion unit now from the Phenom. Do they go to 24 Squadron and then to 42? I'll have to find out. Perry, thank you for that. Actually, I'm just having a look now. RAF Rotary, Tutor, Prefect, Juno. Yeah, that's the one. You got it. And the Jupiter. Really? Cool. Oh, nice. I'm just scrolling down and I can see Perry's doing the RAF multi-engine. Yep, that's the one. You got it. Oh, Babzar, that is a good question. Do these jets ever have to be have to de-ice in the same way. So let me show you, actually. I can show you something. So they have blankets. I know. Look at this. Oh no, it wasn't on there. It got taken off. Oh, by the way, there's the two covers under the nose. Can you see that? The two red covers, they protect the ADPs that I mentioned earlier. But you get blankets on them, but sadly, they've taken it off. Well, it's fine now. You may be able to catch one. They have these special blankets on them, on the canopy, to protect them from frost. I know, it's pretty cool, isn't it? What have we got here? Is that the... Oh, looks like a Bowser. Yeah, so, yeah, they have these special blankets as well to protect them from frost. 54 squad, thanks Perry. 54 OCU for iStart, of course. That's the one. And yeah, what I wanted to know is that if they do go on to 24 Squadron to learn on the heavies, but that one I need to ask, or do they just go to 54 after their Phenom? I would have, yeah, it makes sense to probably go Phenom and then, well, actually, I shouldn't say it like that. It doesn't make sense, or make sense, because I'm not really qualified to answer that until I find out the answer. That's probably the right way to say it. But there we go. Yeah, when I pulled up this morning around 8:30, they had these, they're like really thick blankets that go over the cockpit and the canopy. They look pretty heavy. Even the G-suits have a tolerance to temperatures, both negative and positive as well. Mav Wings, how you doing? Davil, Mayhem. Thanks for joining us, everyone. But I just wanted to bring you a show, really. Through rain, sleet or snow. It is supposed to be quite dreadful now. Supposed to get harsh. Tomorrow's not so bad. We are back as usual, back on our missions. It's going to be another really good long year, hopefully. A nice adventurous year. It'll be the focus this year. I'll try and get a lot more LFA 7, more romantically known as the Mark Luke. Big shout out to the Bowser teams, Hedgehog crew, all those in the control tower, AWCU, that's the Airfield Wildlife Control Unit, Leonardo, BAE Systems as well. Tell you what, we haven't seen the Embraer ERJ today. And all rolls. MPGS, RAF Police as well. Big shout out to all the crew, all personnel here at Coningsby doing a wonderful job. This is a QRA station, not to forget that, along with... so this is officially called QRA Station number 2 South. And there's, of course, the QRA Station number 1 North in RAF Lossiemouth, which, again, we'll be doing our yearly Lossiemouth trip. I've got to get Valley in. I didn't get to do it this year. For good reasons, actually, on a more positive. I ended up being invited on that day, on that week, so I couldn't really take the kit to go live, as it was an honour to be there on Family's Day. So we just went in and enjoyed it, really. something is certainly heating up over there. Sounds like a bit of flexing going on. Yeah. You know, my plan is to catch some arrivals and then we shall just call it a day, get in the warm. At least we've got you a nice little stream today. And thank you to Anna, Colin, the Bat of Purple, Mayhem Marshy, Charlie Bravo, David Grimm, Margot, Not Captain Weber, Wibbs, Kevin Marshall, Chris Blossom, and Deister, Dieter, Babsart, Dylan, Ellie J Approach, Mike 22 Delta, Caroline Stubbs, Gary, Donna and the Caker Cat, Adoring Fan Area, Jan Clark, Gazlan, Bernie Hagyard. Bernie, how you doing, man? Hope you're good. Colin Patterson, Chili Beef, Anne Hartley, James DS, Julie Beard, Andy Stanley as well, Mark Moody, Julie Ann, 555, Triple Nick, Pauline Elson, Simon Watchorn, and got a birthday wish as well from someone with no name. It's just got an @ symbol. So, and who's also sent a Ted Coningsby. Hang on, let's see if we can establish who this is. Oh, Bjorn Danielson. There you go. I've just worked out a little sneaky way to find out who that was. Andrew Stevens as well. Bjorn Danielson, thank you for the birthday wish, and all of you who've sent in a birthday wish as well. So we may get some more departures as well. So we'll hang on tight. If you've got any questions about the Typhoon, performance, stats, give us a shout. For those that missed, here's a good opportunity to do big up the Bowser teams there, refueling our Typhoons there and other wonderful aircraft. For those that missed the hard points, the Typhoon can carry some delicious, about 20,000 pounds of ordnance. Oh yes, so 13 hard points. Okay, so you got one in the middle, designated for a center fuel tank as well. You could also have like a lightning pod as well, like a laser pod as well. But there are a total of 13 hard points, 3 of which can be allocated to a drop tank, so 3, so you can have 1 in the middle and 1 on each wing. So with the 1 in the middle gone, we're then left with 6 on each side. Okay, so you got 2 drop tanks on each side. So if we put 3 drop tanks, we're now left with 5 on each side. Okay, so you can have 2 missiles here. Okay, that leaves you with 3 more points to put ordnance. Okay, so 3 on each wing, a drop tank on each wing, and 2 on each side on the undercarriage here on each side there. So, and then 1 center one. So 13 hard points there on the Tiffy. There we go. If you got any questions, another common one, what's this soot here? That is the this area you can plug in the Typhoon. It's the APU, auxiliary power unit, and you'll get a build-up of soot, sort of burnt fuel that's just coming out there. This little tiny little bit here, it's called the fuel vent. That's where the fuel vents, they are different on each aircraft. I think that the F-15 fuel vent is on the, I think it's on the right wing on the F-15E Strike Eagle, or the F-15. So yeah, there we go. So this is a fuel vent. So when carrying out negative G maneuvers or on startup, you can get fuel that's actually vented. It's not a leak, it's actually a fuel vent. It's done, and it's also done that way for really good reason. So if you've completely filled up the Typhoon on startup, the pressure builds up and the Typhoon's pumps are working, and the fuel can actually be squirted out, or vented out is probably the correct word, because there's so much fuel in it, it expands. When on negative G, the fuel actually vents out and creates that
bit of smoke as it evaporates. There's the hedgehog team, how you doing? And it does that so you don't get like a fuel starvation, because you could get an airlock inside the fuel tanks for doing that. Typhoon can only stay inverted with full reheats for no longer than about 10 seconds, because you'll risk emptying the fuel tanks. When you see the Typhoon display this year, the Typhoon usually displays with a center drop tank. The Typhoon never displays with fuel in that drop tank, but it will have fuel for transiting. It's left that way, and you know, it's left in that configuration. I can see Typhoon's taxiing actually. Yeah, so it's left that way so that less things can go wrong. If you start taking on and off the drop tanks, then you could end up with some situations, for example, so they just leave it. For me personally, this is just my own personal, everyone's entitled to their own personal opinion of what they like. I like it with the drop tank, I really do. A 600-pound drop tank, I think it looks cool. Actually, this is just my own personal opinion. I think it looks better than without the drop tank, but people argue the point and say, as an opinion, that they prefer it clean. I like it with that, it looks pretty cool. Joe Ilott, how you doing? So 2 more to leave the floor. Flexing going on the Typhoons that you can hear in the background. Flexing. Oh, here we go. We've got another Typhoon taxiing out actually. Ooh, seek and destroy. 41 Squadron there, the Test and Evaluation Squadron. Number 17, who brought the Typhoon here on the 19th of May 2005, are still operational. They're actually the Test and Evaluation Unit for the F-35B, and they're based at Edwards Air Force Base in America. Okay, here we go, get ready. Get ready to ride! Of Boddington there.
We've got another Typhoon just about to depart very shortly. You can hear one flexing as well. EJ200 engine sounding wonderful. With a three-stage fan, compressing air to an amount of pressure between 2 and 4 times the atmospheric pressure, and along with its 5-stage high-pressure compressor, compressing air to 26 times of what it was originally at. A low bypass at 0.4 to 1. Departure coming up as well. Big shout out to those that are on runway caravan duties. Not hanging about. Got a couple more departures, which is all good. Typhoon's 4 planes been pushed down to create a bit more drag. They can be used as a speed brake as well, as you can see there. The Typhoons on shutdown, they are in the downwards position. It's part of the configuration there. For that Perry, for the original trench wireframes that are still going. Quite rare to see. Well, not rare because we do see it, but there are ways to identify trench 1, 2 and 3 here at Coningsby. So usually the ZJ serial numbers were the original tranche 1. And this is indeed ZJ950. So you can see the refueling probe there extended to be checked. This will indicate that it's had and carried out air-to-air refueling, so this would be needed to be checked. how you doing? All right? You okay? Good to see you. Oh, thank you. Hang on a sec. 1 second. Now, let me just... Happy New Year to you both. You guys all right? A little bit on the cold side today, just a little bit. Yeah, I am. But only for a few more takeoffs, and that'll be it for me. That was really good, really nice. Nice to get away.
You got home?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we managed to get back. Oh, here we go, another departure. Yeah, had quite a few today actually. Pretty good. The floor. Yeah, did you have a good Christmas and New Year? Yeah, that's good. Keeping all right there, yeah? Ah, that's cool. Oh, right. Was that you? Was it? Yeah, I thought so. I was like, oh, hello. Oh, that's good then, that's good. But, yeah, I'll just see these two off, I think, and yeah, that'll do. It's nice to start the year with just something, even if it, Lake and Eve tomorrow, and then I'll have a look at the weather for the other 2 days, and then just, yeah, see how we get on. But yeah, did you enjoy the party, yeah?
Yeah, it's good. We've ordered handouts.
Yeah, I see that you got, yeah, I see you're ready for next year, this year, sorry.
1 and 2, I think.
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. Yeah, yeah. Looking forward to another one. So, yeah, it was really good. That really enjoyed it. Yeah, all is good. Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, I've got them in. I've got them in. So fingers crossed. So that'll be good. Yeah, they were amazing, weren't they? Oh right, yes. Yeah, they were excellent, weren't they? Really, really good. Yeah, so yeah, onwards and upwards. Carry on. Yeah, I'll just see these two off, I think, and yeah, go and have another cup of tea. Oh dear. Yeah, but hey, you know, I've missed it. I really have. So I just wanted to get out there and, you know, freeze to death. You know, it's great. Yeah, it was lovely. I I mean, I went away, obviously, in Devon. That was part of it, really. And it was amazing. Really, really nice walks in the fresh air and just to be away, you know. So, no planes involved. So I was forced to not do anything like that, so. Yeah.
I bet you done something.
Yeah. No, I was a good boy. I was actually quite good. No, I didn't bring any books, just went away just to be there. Even if we did nothing, I would have just enjoyed it just as much. So, good stuff.
You think she'd come out of the wall and give you a cuddle?
Oh. Here we go. Yeah. Yes, see you again. All right, look after yourselves, and really good to see you, and wishing you a happy new year. Catch you soon. All right. Okay, so we got two more to leave the floor, and probably our last two. I haven't forgotten the Guards marches of the year. Do not worry. Don't go anywhere. But I hope you've enjoyed it. It's a sweet and neat stream. We've had some. Tom Leon as well, thank you very much. for your support. Really means a lot, that does. Really, really amazing. Aspen, how you doing? Good to chat to you the other day, brother. Brother man, what up? Ben Stubbs, thank you very much. Bye. That was Debbie and Gary Brooks there, just coming to see me. Locals of Coningsby, just coming to see me. And yes, I must be bonkers up here, but yeah, I'll give you that. Also, we'll be carrying on our Red Arrows training sessions as well. There's a lot to look forward to, you know, when you start off plane spotting in January, if you're into the, of course, in the military genre with air shows, all the exercises such as Cobra Warrior, York Night, all these exciting things. We've got our bank holiday streams as well that we do. It's like we've got another departure. Geordie, how you doing? Oi oi to you. Simon Watch from Aspen, Margot, Jimmy PTV. Wendy Loves Planes, who's also here live and live. There we go, get ready. Amazing stuff there from the Foons. Again, all that power from the EJ200 engines, producing 20,000 pounds of thrust in each of those wonderful engines. And there's our EJ200 engines as the air goes in. So it is literally, as funny as it sounds, the suck, squeeze, bang, blow. That is pretty much how a jet engine works, and it is absolutely incredible. This is the EJ200 engines, a composite Eurojet comprising of Rolls-Royce MTU. MTU are about 30%, Avio Aero and ITP Aero as well. And we're talking about an engine that's just short of 4 meters, that's 13 feet at 1 inch. It's got an airflow of 75 to 77 kilograms per second. That's 61.5 meters cubed of air. It weighs about 2,204 pounds. And the way it works, like I said, it's got the titanium, they're called blisks, okay? Usually you have these blades, the compressor blades, that are actually attached to the compressor fan, shall we say, but these are an alloy, shall we say, just a blisk. Is that taking off now? So yeah, it meets the 3-stage fan, goes in here, compresses it to 4.2 to 1. Yeah, we've got a departure now. And then it meets a 5-stage high pressure compressor, which compresses the air to 26 times. And then you've got the fuel injected into the... Actually, we'll just see this departure off and I'll show you. It is such a fantastic engine. It does have super cruise capability as well, which means it can go supersonic without the assistance of the reheats. So you don't get to see a lot of reheat with the Typhoons. Visually, I know we love the reheats. Oh. Looks like we had some there, look. So yeah, the Typhoon's EJ200 engine has what's called blisks. Like I said, I've showed you some of the compressor blades before. Okay, so the blisks give a benefit of being lightweight. Okay, so they're one unit. Okay, so it makes it extremely light weight. In fact, like I said, 2,204 pounds, just under 4 meters. So it meets a 3-stage fan. Okay, so a 3-stage low pressure compressor. Okay, so you've got, that's MTU that make the low pressure compressor, and once it's compressed the air to 4.2, so that means it squeezed the air 4.2 times. So if it went in at 1 bar, it's now at 4.2, but then it meets the 5-stage high pressure compressor, and the 5-stage do consist of 3 blisks and 2 of the conventional compressors, so the blades are actually attached. There's also what's called stator vanes as well. The stator blades are static, and the reason for this is to, if you treat each blade like almost like a propeller, it's to channel that air, get that airflow going right. Now the rest of the air that doesn't get used, that's what's called a bypass, and the Typhoon's bypass is 0.4 to 1. Why is there bypass? It's to basically to reduce the sound, okay, but also for better airflow. If there was no bypass, if you get an empty flask, okay, and try to just maneuver it through the air with your hand, okay, it will get stuck a little bit. It will create a bit of drag. If you were to put some holes in it, it will actually create a better airflow. It's also for economy and also to keep the noise down as well. Anyway, so that compressed air is now at 26 times the atmospheric pressure. So it's squeezed that air 26 times to what it was. So it's squashed it into here. The combustion chamber here is injected with the fuel, and then what that does, it ignites, and that's the bang. That bang, that flow, that kinetic energy starts to spin the turbine. So you've got a high pressure turbine. It's a twin spool, which means the one stage high pressure turbine actually powers through a shaft the high pressure compressor. And this one here, this turbine, it's a low pressure turbine that actually powers 3 of these low pressure compressors. So one HP turbine, or high pressure turbine, okay, powering 5 of the high pressure compressors, and then one low pressure turbine powering the larger 3-stage compressors here. Amazing. Now if you were to end it here, okay, with that is what we call thrust. That is how a jet engine works. But I know what you want to hear. What is going on with the afterburner? What is going on with reheat? What does that mean? Reheat, afterburner. Okay, they both mean the same thing. You just use different terminology in each country or air force, okay? Now this section here, all right, that is your reheat chamber. Now inside here, you haven't got your compressed air. These are hot gases, so you're going to have some sort of what's the word, insulation to protect the components here from the extreme heat. Now what happens here, you've then got spray bars, and it sprays fuel into hot gases. Do you remember that we compress the air 26 times? You do that. Reason why you compress the air: 1, it's a lot more combustible, okay, and 2, it's a lot more economical. You're squeezing the air, getting a lot more in there for your money, all right? But here you haven't got the compressed air, it's just the hot gases. And what happens here, you ignite the fuel in there, and you've got all this chamber producing, what, 3 times the amount, 30% more power, from 13,500 dry, as we call it, to 20,200 pounds of thrust. That's why it uses more fuel, because you haven't got the economical compressed air, it's just the hot gases. All that there dedicated to 30% or around about that more power. All right, that is our EJ200 engine. If you want to pause who makes what here, haven't quite worked out the rest of who owns what, or makes what, sorry. Got 30% MTU. I would have imagined maybe a bit more, 30% Rolls-Royce maybe, but I can't confirm that. I'm going to find out for you. But that's our EJ200 engine.
Right, what else have we got down there now? Is that it there now?
Right, I think, Ted, we're going to call it a day. So, right, let's get Teddy on the okay, so Ted's just gonna finish up the show with some guards marches to you wonderful ladies, gents and teddy bears. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It's been brilliant. So we've got Anna L. Anna, welcome, high five. Welcome to the Ted Coningsby's Fighter Squadron. Guards march to you. Colin with 15 months membership. Through storms to my green badge in September. Happy New Year, everyone, and happy birthday, Nikos. Stay safe in this awful weather. Thank you very much. The Batter Purple with 8 months membership. Guards march. Mayhem Marshy, Spanner Flight member. 35 months membership with the Ted Coningsby channel. Oi oi everyone, happy New Year to you all. Guards march. Charlie Bravo with 32 months membership. Coningsby calling. David Grimm, high five. Welcome to the Ted Coningsby Squadron. Thank you for joining our membership. And Margot, thank you very much, who's a spanner flight, who's put very best wishes for everyone for 2026. Thanks for the super chat, Guards March. Not Captain Weber with 32 months. Wow, 32 months soon flies by. Thanks to all the TCS for what they do. Wib74 with 18 months membership. Happy birthday, Nikos, and Happy New Year to everyone. Kevin Marshall with 20 months membership. Happy birthday, Nikos. Keep up the great work, TCS. Chris Bloxham, who's Spanner Flight, with 33 months membership as well. Oi, oi, good morning and Happy New Year, everyone. Please hit the like there now. Not forgetting happy birthday, Nikos. Thank you very much. And Deister, thank you very much for your super chat. Happy birthday for yesterday, Nikos. Stay warm. Thank you very much. Will do. Guards March. Dieter with 14 months membership. Thank you very much. Babsar, high five. And a Guards March. Thank you for gifting a Ted Coningsby membership. Oh, yeah. Dylan Cobb, happy birthday, Nikos. Guns up. Thank you very much for the super chat. LEJ Approach, watching from Leipzig, 30 months membership. Happy New Year to everyone. And, of course, the Bundesliga. Mike 22 Delta with 27 months membership. Best channel on YouTube. We agree. Guards March. Caroline Stubbs with 28 months membership as well. Happy New Year. Gary, thank you very much. Happy birthday, Nikos. Thank you very much to Gary. Donna and the Cake Cat, Guards March, thanks for your 27 months membership. Adoring Fan Area, high five, thanks for joining, high five there, thanks for joining our TCS Bosch Officers Club. Jan Clark, happy birthday, Nikos. Thanks for braving it today. Thank you very much for your support. Thanks, Jan, for the super. Gazland66, thanks for 27 months membership. Happy birthday and New Year all. Bernie Haggard, 16 months membership. Oi, welcome back, Nikos. Hope you had a great break. Happy New Year to all the TCS. Hope for another great year of streams. Guards March. Colin Patterson with 25 months membership. Morning all. And Happy New Year to you all on board the TCS. Chili Beef with 18 months. Oi, Happy New Year. Hope it's not too chilly. Got ya. Colin Patterson with a super chat. Happy birthday, Nikos. Grab a coffee. You know I will. Anne Hartley, thanks for your 19 months. James DS, thanks for your super chat. Julie Beard with 20 months membership. 20 months of great plane spotting with the best aviation channel. Made great friends and have a new family with the Point Charlie crew. Guards March. Andy Stanley, Guards March to you. Thanks for the super chat. Happy birthday, Nikos, and thanks for the stream today in these conditions. Thank you very much. Mark Moody, a very happy birthday, Nikos. Guards March. Thanks a lot, Mark. High five for that one. Thanks for your super chat. Julianne, high five as well for that one. Thanks for your super chat as well. Happy birthday, Nikos. Thank you for streaming at one of my favourite places, a Guards March. 555 Nick with 34 months. Happy birthday, Nikos. Happy New Year to the PCC and TCS. Looking forward to another fantastic year as a posh officer and member of the TCS. Skim the snow. Pauline Nelson with 2 years milestone, 24 months. Happy birthday, Nikos. Keep up the good work. Guards March. Simon Watchorn, thank you very much. Guards March, thanks for your super chat. 555 Nick for a hot drink and hand warmers for the birthday boy. Thank you very much for your super chat there. Bjorn Danielson with 28 months. Happy birthday, Nikos. Guards March to you. Also, high five and a Guards March to Bjorn Danielson for gifting a Ted Coningsby membership. Margot Baxter's also gifted a super chat there. Andrew Stevens with 35 months. Happy New Year, everybody, and a belated happy birthday, Nikos, for yesterday. Ted's out for another cracking TCS year. I know, I'm excited. Paul Mayers, thanks for the super sticker. Guards March. Jojo Illot as well with the super chat. Happy birthday, Nikos. You must be freezing. I am. Grab a cuppa. Thanks for braving the weather to bring us the stream. Happy New Year to you all. Thank you very much. Christopher Carr, high five. Thanks for joining the Ted Coningsby Squadron. Thank you very much. Belly Bobcat, Guards March to you with the super sticker. Chris White, high five and a paw pump. Thank you so much for making 5 new Ted Coningsby memberships. Thanks for gifting that, Chris White. Guards March. Batter Purple, high five. Thanks for gifting a Ted Coningsby membership. Tom Leon, high five and a paw pump. Thank you so much for gifting 5 Ted Coningsby memberships as well. Astro Gaz, Guards March as well with the super sticker. Jake Jackson, member for 33 months. All the best, Nikos, for your birthday and great new year for the channel. Thank you very much. Ben Stubbs, completing 6 months of membership. The dedication is why we subscribe. Oi, oi! EP65, high five. Thanks for gifting a Ted Coningsby membership. Martin Skeet with 28 months. Oi, oi, all. Happy New Year, all. Happy birthday, Nikos. Thank you very much. Paul Briggs, Briggles, Guards March. Thanks for the super sticker. And Gary, member for 7 months, Guards March, thank you very much, and being part of our fighter squadron. Thank you so much for being a fighter squadron member. Johnny B, 26 months, happy birthday, Nikos, and many more. Guards March to Johnny B, thank you so much. Right, before we freeze to before we freeze, we are going to have an early one. It is pretty brutal out here, to say the least, but hey, we've had departures, we've had a few arrivals, and it's been amazing. So yeah, welcome to the first stream of the year. Goodness me, woo, it is a bit of a cold one. Not that type of cold one, but hey, listen, welcome back to the Ted Coningsby channel. A salute to everyone at RAF Coningsby. Thank you to all those as well who worked over Christmas and New Year. And of course, don't forget, Coningsby is 365, 24/7, 365, no matter what the day, because it is a quick reaction alert station. A nice way to finish off with the 2 ship breaking up there. Everyone for joining us today. It's been an incredible one today, really. You know, it's been a cold one, been a chilly beef one, eh? That said, we do have another departure actually, so there we go. Just like we start. It's been amazing, it really has. This looks like a go around. Again, thank you very much for joining us for our first stream of the year. It's been amazing, and due to the conditions, it is -7 at the moment. Probably worse actually, it feels a little bit more than that now. But thanks again for joining us. And we start our whole year. This is where it all starts. You've been watching the Ted Coningsby channel. Live here at RAF Coningsby, opened in November the 4th, 1940, first residence 106 in February with the Hadley Page Hamdens, followed by 97 Squadron a month later with their Avro Manchesters, and we all know what happened to that. In fact, it didn't even see the rest of the war, but with about 200 made, grounded several times. It did turn out to be something beautiful, the Avro Lancaster. But more on that for the rest of the year. Typhoon coming into land, we go around, and there we go. Thank you very much. So for the first, do you know what? I'll tell you what. So for the first time of the year, it is see you soon, wish you well, isn't it? That is the first one of the year, right? So hey, there you go. It's been lovely having you. Thanks a lot, everyone. Ted's here. He's just saying goodbye, finishing off a little bit of, you know, Alaskan salmon, I think, today. But hey, my name's Nikos. I've been your cameraman. A little bit of history today and commentary. This is Squadron Leader Ted Coningsby, and you've been watching the Ted Coningsby channel live here at a very icy, snowy Coningsby. So for the first time of the year and the last time for today, it is see you soon, wish you well, everyone. Much love to you all. Take care. See you.
Oh yeah, ladies, sheds and teddy bears, welcome to the Ted Coningsby channel membership. I'm Nikos, I'm your cameraman and commentator. This is our squadron leader, Ted Coningsby. Just want to say a massive thank you to all our members. Guns up, and oh yeah. Take it away, Ted. Ladies, sheds and teddy bears, we want to say a massive thank you to all of our subscribers for getting us to where we are today. We have gone all over the country, from as far as Lossiemouth to Bryce Norton, and military areas such as air weapons ranges, low flying areas, heritage centres and special flights for TED 2. We cannot do this without your support, and your support will be rewarded. You can now join the Ted Coningsby Squadron and help fund the channel to get us around the country and provide us with the funds for equipment to bring you better content too. We have 3 levels of membership to suit everyone. With your membership, you'll get access to members only videos, photos, posts, unlock special Ted Coningsby YouTube emojis and loyalty badges, as well as being able to access our exclusive members only Discord server. All membership levels reward you with discounts to our online store. Our top level fighter squadron was inspired by many of our fans who supported the channel massively. This is more of a personal experience with me and Ted, giving you exclusive live streams and content from behind the scenes photos, special info and updates, as well as a free Ted Coningsby Fighter Squadron patch for joining. Whichever membership level suits you, we want to say a massive thank you for choosing to join the Ted Coningsby Squadron. Ah, yeah.